G'day, Paul here from Bike Rider magazine down here in New Zealand. We're at Hampton Downs, which is New Zealand's premier racetrack, testing this with Aprilia New Zealand. Here's their new RS457. So this is a pretty important bike for Aprilia. Aprilia have always really been known for the large capacity, V-twins, V4s, that sort of stuff. But over the previous years, capacities have got a little bit smaller. They've had middleweight offerings, and now they've got an entry level, and for us here, a LAMS offering, which means it's learner approved with the RS457. So what they can do is they can get customers in at the bottom, and hopefully they'll stay with the Aprilia brand all the way through their motorcycling life. Little 457, I shouldn't really say little because it's got a heap of performance underneath it, but 457cc parallel twin, pushing out about 47 horsepower. Being a typical Aprilia, it's got all the bells and whistles on there. So we've got traction control on it, we've got ABS on it, and for us here on the racetrack, what we've been able to do is disable the rear ABS, which just gives us a little bit more feel, a bit more power at the front, and it's been an absolute blast. We're here on the Aprilia Owners Day, and obviously a lot of their bikes have got a whole heap more horsepower than 47 horsepower that the RS457's got, but in the corners, in the twists and turns, it's been an absolute blast, like a real giggle, and you really can embarrass a few of the bigger bikes when you're on something small and light like this. Obviously on the big long straightaways, all those guys come gassing past you, but if you're new to track days or you're after something a little bit sporty on the road, this thing really hits the nail on the head. Design is very much in keeping with their RS-V4 models, so very angular, very sleek, from the angular lights at the front here all the way down to the tiny tail section at the rear. You'd think it might be a small bike, but I'm 6 foot tall and had absolutely no problem tucking down and making the most of those 47 horsepower. This one's been furnished with a few aftermarket accessories, a few Aprilia's genuine accessories. So we've got a double bubble screen, anodized brake levers and foot peg levers for a bit of a different look. But importantly, this one's got a up-down quick shifter on it, and if you can stump to the extra money, I reckon that really is worth the investment. When you've got a small bike like this and you really are trying to make the most of the power, being able to flick up and down the gears while being able to keep the throttle held open really does give you that little bit more of an advantage. Now the bike's Indian made, and it's actually, we didn't really know what the brand of tyres were, because they're an Indian make of tyre, but they've been surprisingly good. We've just dropped the pressures a little bit for the track, and they've been hanging on whilst we've been dragging knee sliders, no elbow slider dragging, but they really have performed faultlessly. Pricing wise for us here in New Zealand, Aprilia New Zealand have been actually quite aggressive because it's a really competitive segment of the market now. Because we have LAMS, which are learner approved bikes over here, we can run these 400cc and slightly above bikes. So they've kept the pricing sharp, and for the base white model, they start at 10,590. Different colorways, different options and bits and pieces. You can obviously bump it up from there, but they've got the pricing right on the money. I think it looks fantastic. So I think if you're looking for a LAMS bike and you're after something a little bit sporty, it's bang on the money.